Something's wrong. The patient's heart rate just spiked to 102. Cortisol flooding his system. Rational thinking. Shutting down. Code red. In the next 47 minutes, this patient will lose $750. He won't even remember why. This is what we call emotional hijack. But here's what's interesting. 8 hours ago, he was completely fine. So what happened? Let me show you the moment everything. This is Mr. Smith, 32 years old, marketing professional. Look at his vitals. Perfect. Heart rate, 72. Cortisol, stable. Impulse control, 91%. Bank balance, healthy. Nothing unusual. Just another Tuesday. He told me the morning was completely normal. This is where it starts.
It started like any other Tuesday. I woke up, had my coffee, got to the office around 9, morning was fine. I was working on my quarterly report, felt productive. Then at 2 p.m., we had our team review meeting. My manager pulled up my project on the big screen. In front of everyone, he said my execution was underwhelming, asked if I even understood the brief. I worked on that project for 3 weeks, stayed late, put everything into it. After the meeting, I went back to my desk. I just sat there. I felt humiliated, angry, exhausted. I picked up my phone, opened Amazon. I wasn't looking for anything specific. I just didn't want to feel like this anymore. I saw a leather jacket I'd had in my cart for weeks, and I thought, you know what? I deserve this. I work hard. My manager doesn't appreciate me, but I can appreciate myself. So I bought it, $220. And for maybe 30 seconds, I felt better. Then I kept scrolling. Noise-canceling headphones, $180. Protein powder, a phone case, and then it stopped working. The feeling was gone. I opened my bank app. $750. Gone in less than an hour. And the worst part, I don't even want the jacket anymore.
Watch the vitals. And here's the critical moment. What you are about to see. The textbook, amygdala hijack. Watch what happens. Notice that. The cortisol dropped, briefly. Then watch what happens. This part has a name. Cortisol rebound behavior. Each purchase delivers less relief. He's chasing a feeling that's already gone. So here's what actually happened to Mr. Smith. And if you've ever done something like this, if you've ever had a bad day and woken up the next morning wondering why you bought something you don't even want, pay very close attention, because this isn't about willpower. This is about biology. When his manager criticized him, this part of his brain lit up. The amygdala, your threat detector. In clinical terms, this is survival override. And here's what most people don't understand. Your amygdala doesn't know the difference between public embarrassment and a tiger attack. To your brain, they're the same thing. So when Mr. Smith got criticized in front of his team, his brain hit the panic button. Cortisol flooded his system. This is your emergency hormone. And cortisol does something very specific. This is your prefrontal cortex, your rational brain. The part that asks questions like, do I actually need this? And can I afford this? Under high cortisol, it shuts down, not partially, completely. We call this emotional shutdown of executive control. That voice in your head that usually stops you, it went silent. And this took over. Your emotional brain, your survival brain. It has one job. Stop the pain. Now. Not in an hour. Not tomorrow. Right now. So it scanned the environment for the fastest dopamine hit available. Exercise? Too slow. 30 minutes minimum. Call a friend? Maybe an hour until you feel better. But shopping? 0.4 seconds. One click. Instant chemical relief. That's why Mr. Smith felt better when he bought the jacket. His brain found exactly what it was desperately searching for. But and this is a critical part. Shopping doesn't fix cortisol. It masks it. Look at this graph. When he clicked buy, cortisol dropped for about 8 seconds. Then it came back, higher than before, because now the original stress is still there. The criticism, the embarrassment, plus new stress from losing $750. So Mr. Smith tried to medicate stress with an activity that creates more stress. This is the cortisol rebound. And this is why he kept buying more and more things. He was chasing that first dopamine hit. But each purchase delivered less relief. By the 5th item, he felt nothing. So if you've ever done this, if you recognize yourself in his story, here's what you need to understand. This wasn't a discipline problem. This wasn't a budgeting problem. This was a hijacked nervous system making financial decisions while the rational brain was offline. So the diagnosis here is clear. Stress-induced impulsive spending, driven by an amygdala hijack and maintained by cortisol rebound. And here's the good news. There's a protocol for this. I gave Mr. Smith 3 rules, not tips, not suggestions, medical protocols. Protocol 1, the 90-minute buffer. No financial decisions for 90 minutes after any stressful event. Not 10 minutes, not 30 minutes, 90. Why? Because that's exactly how long it takes for cortisol to metabolize out of your bloodstream. It's not negotiable. It's biology. When you feel that urge to buy something after a bad day stop, close the app, put the phone down, walk away, go for a 10-minute walk, do 20 push-ups, call a friend, let your prefrontal cortex reboot. Then and only then decide if you still want it. Protocol 2. Preload your dopamine. Build a menu of free dopamine sources you can access immediately when cortisol spikes. A 10-minute walk, a cold shower, 5 minutes of exercise. Your brain doesn't care where dopamine comes from. A $200 jacket and a 10-minute walk? To your brain, they're the same chemical. So give it the chemical without the bill. Protocol 3. The 24-hour cart lock. Nothing leaves your cart for 24 hours. 0 exceptions. You can add whatever you want. Just don't click buy. If you still want it tomorrow, after sleep, after cortisol clears, buy it. I gave Mr. Smith this exact protocol. 90 minutes, a dopamine menu, 24 hours, 3 simple protocols. 6 weeks later, cortisol stable, impulse control restored. Over $640 saved. Not because he became more disciplined, because he stopped making financial decisions while his rational brain was hijacked. If this was you, the protocol is the same. Treat the nervous system first. The financial symptoms resolve themselves. Case closed.